Hey, what's up, everybody? Rob Howe here, and I am gonna lay it all on the table. I'm a little bit ticked off. I have trust issues, and I want to talk to you about them. I think a lot of people might feel the same going forward. So this video will be a Rob Reacts video to a couple of people that I respect a lot. They have great information and great perspective, and we're all a little ticked off. One in particular has a great point, and I want to introduce you to him if you haven't met him. Not everything do I agree upon, but I do like where they're going with some of the things that they're saying. And bottom line is, this video is going to be the new me heading into 2023, where I am sick and tired, and I am upset very much because of my trust issues with what I see going on in the government and in the Fed. So let's talk about it. Check me out on the other side. All right, everybody, I am Rob Howe, and I want you to think of my last name as Houses and You. That's right, because all I care about are houses and you in Las Vegas, Nevada. And so if you're looking for a realtor, well, now you know how. That's me, Rob Howe, Las Vegas Realtor. I'm here to help you. And today, I really want to vent a little bit. I'm gonna be doing a lot more of this. I have some frustrations that have basically been built up for the last year. And I'm gonna tell you where it starts. For me, it starts with the idea that I've been sitting here following along with these Fed updates. You know, you got the Chairman Powell coming out, and I watch those updates when I can in entirety, but I also can get some summaries from some of the people that I watch on YouTube and whatnot. I'm sure some of you do the same thing. But what's been annoying to me, especially after this last one, is that I'm sitting here putting my faith in the people that did not call things correctly last year when they should have. These people, whether it be for politics or whatever it was,
or just plain old silly stupidness,
were saying that inflation was going to be transitory and that they weren't terribly concerned about it. Even though myself, I consider myself just, just little old me, who am I? I'm just Rob over here. Certainly I'm in a business that can see certain things, and I'm experiencing things in real time. So maybe I have a perspective that's, I'm able to see what's going on with the economy, and certainly what's happening with real estate in Las Vegas. But the fact that they sort of pushed this stuff off and didn't do what was necessary back in 2021, late 2021, when people were talking, when it was clear that this inflation was coming on strong, and they waited until we had a massive run up in real estate and more inflation and even more just problems that were now had to be addressed. They waited and waited. And now I have to be sitting on bated heels to find out what they're gonna say about what they're gonna do next and how long this crap is gonna last. This pisses me off. It was unnecessary, and now I have to sit and trust what they're saying. So let me give you a quick review before I go into these Rob Reacts videos. But the review is going to be on the Fed meeting, which was, Chairman Powell coming out, and he had some introductory things that he said, and then a question and answers that he took. Basically, we're up 50 basis points on the interest rate again. Knew it was coming. Glad it's only, a 0.5%. But didn't want that at all. I don't want that. But I do think that they're painted into a corner. The choice is very difficult, and that's why it's sad that this is the only tool in the toolbox that can be used, and that it is going to cause harm, and that's what they're basically admitting. Now, there are still these talks about maybe a soft landing,
probably a soft landing.
But as you'll see, one of the guys that I'm going to show you, he explains it great. He's like saying, yeah, there's a chance for a soft landing, but it's not likely. The likely is actually more that it's not going to be a soft landing. And when I say a soft landing, meaning that what they're doing is going to that they'll be able to strip that back and put us back to normal and get to healthy when it comes to the economy more quickly and with less pain. But after yesterday's meeting, I think it's almost as if they're just signaling
We're going to have more pain.
it's not going to be a soft landing. Now, I don't know if I can even trust that, because there are certain things that I see that are very good indicators for that the job is getting done, and that you can hope that for on the shorter side of things. But that's not what they're saying. As a matter of fact, they're saying that we're going to have another rate increase in February, probably another 0.5 point, and then another increase in March, which might be a tiered down 1/4 point. So at least they're signaling that we're at the end of these rate hikes around March in spring, but it's gonna be a very slow spring compared to usual because of the rates, okay? And that means that if you're a seller, you need to get your house on the market ASAP and sell it for a freaking deal as soon as possible. And I'm not kidding when I say that, because if you don't do that, what you're looking at ahead is a slower market, even higher rates. Now, people might finally get used to them, but they're gonna get used to them at better prices for them as buyers, okay? Because the Fed is also signaling, the question was asked, how long until we get rates to drop? They don't expect rates to drop through 2023. For a whole year, we won't see rates drop. We're gonna see them ramp them up at least another 75 basis points and then keep them there, okay? And if they feel like they need to do more, they might do more. So this is where I say, number one, if you're a buyer and you wanna get in and you can't wait till a whole year goes by, you don't wanna have to be in that rat race, and you understand that you're gonna marry the house and date the rate. So that means that you own this house and you're with that house. You understand that you can change that rate later by refinancing, then that's what you might want to do. And a lot of people say, hey, don't touch buying. But if you can't wait, or you don't want to be in a rental, you're in a situation right now where you should get on the stick before February, before that rate changes again. And also get on the stick while sellers are hearing what I have to say and many others have to say, which is get your property on the market for a deal. I am literally not taking listings that if people are in La La Land with their prices. I do a lot of work, folks, to sell your home, a lot of marketing. I spend my own money. I do all this also that I hope that I can get paid in the end for doing a great job for you. But if I look at this transaction, this listing that I might get, and I say to myself, I could spend all this time and money and not have a deal that can get done, then that is silly, right? I mean, who would have thought that I'd be in a time where I'd actually have to turn down listings if you aren't in reality with what you're doing? That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm doing for my personal business. I don't want to come from a desperate place. If you have a realtor in front of you that's giving you that feeling that they might be desperate, you've got the wrong realtor in front of you. Right now, what you need is somebody to give you the real deal truth on what's happening. What's happening is the Fed is not letting go. They are still in a hawkish mode. And I've got people that I think are talking great information. So I'm going to get to that here in a minute. But I just wanted to go through my frustration. My frustration is that I have trust issues from a government standpoint, maybe not on a state government, but a little bit, but on a national, federal policy way of looking at things. For years now, I don't know that I can trust the information that is being offered to me. And I don't know if you all feel the same as me. This is not coming from a political point of view. It's coming from a real, are you telling me the truth, or are you fluffing it up because of other reasons? Because nobody wants to admit fault. Nobody wants to admit that, there are things that have to be done that are tough. Now, the Fed has a different stance, so they can do this in this way, and they have been at least a little bit more honest in that way, but they got it wrong. So how do I trust them? So this is the conundrum. Now, I will get to this final point of mine before I go into these React videos. This is gonna be a longer video for me. My final point is that every team needs a good coach, okay? I consider myself a coach, especially right now. I've always been somebody who wants to lead the charge and help people understand how to get the ball across the goal line. That is my objective when it comes to even thinking about where I am and what it means, what 2023 and me mean to you. It means that, I'm going to help coach you through what I think is going to be some tough times ahead. Some hard decisions have to be made, whether if you're somebody that has to make real estate moves or wants to make real estate moves, whether you're thinking, time to buy, time to sell, time to move, or time to invest. And that time to invest is very key as well. I do believe that investors can come out on top, absolutely come out on top in the next year or so, maybe even in the short term, depending on what you're doing. You can muscle cash right now, absolutely muscle cash. And that means you can basically go out and grab deals. I mean, the iBuyers haven't stopped. They just are looking for suckers. So, out there, you can do a similar strategy if you're an investor. And that's what you should do is, I hate to say it, but you got to find those sellers that need to sell and see what you can offer them. See what the lowest price they'll take is right now. Some smart sellers are willing to do that because they don't like what they see in the tea leaves. I'm not saying we're crashing. I think Vegas is going to be very, very strong comparatively. I've been saying this for years now. If we have trouble overall in the national market, we're going to see that Vegas stands tall comparatively, because there was just a survey done on the most expensive areas in the country. And in that survey, they found that 25% of the people are considering Las Vegas as their landing spot to move to. That's a big deal. That means Vegas is on the map big time. We are a nice landing spot for people. Speaking of soft landings, Vegas is your soft landing. So I think that our market, generally speaking, will continue to do well overall. Now, other places are going to have a hard time if they're already expensive, if they're already, pinching people and hard to sell property there, hard to buy property there. The only thing that's holding some of these people back is being able to sell their property so they can buy property. The train is still being held up at the station because of this ongoing market that we have. So anyway, I'm your coach. I'm here to help. And I want you to remember, when you think of me, my last name says it all. Houses and you. That's what I think about. That's what I want to help you with. And so here I go. I'm going to stop chitter chattering here and get into a very important video. One thing about everybody that I'll bring up, it's not as if that I agree with everything they say, but the core is where it's at. This is what I'm searching for, and this is what I'm hoping people connect with me on, is the core of where I'm coming from. Because I'm not trying to BS people. My thing is to give it to, just give it to you how I see it. And in 2023, that's what I plan to do even more of. No fluff. I want to really, really lay it out for you. And I think right here is a great example of somebody who's a bit shocked at the moves that are happening. And they may even ideologically line up with the state they're talking about, but they see the massive issues that are happening there. This one right here is from my guy, Meet Kevin. That's what you can find him at. He is kind of like, talks about stocks a lot, housing market, certainly. He does his own investing in the housing market. So let's get into it. This one is called WTF, You Won't Believe What Just Ruined Stocks. All right, what does it have to do with housing? Well, if you're worried about inflation, this is what it has to do with housing. The whole reason why interest rates are going up.
If you're frustrated because you think all of your hard-earned work is disappearing in the market and there's literally nothing you can do other than feel like I may as well be sitting in cash and sell everything, well, you have no one else to blame but California Governor Gavin Newsom. That's because after the craziest money printing and supply chain dislocations leading to the most inflation in 40 years, we had California Governor Gavin Newsom decide the best thing to do is to send stimulus checks in October
Stimmies.
to Californians making
October?
up to $500,000.
What?
I kid you not. These were inflation relief stimulus checks to the middle class of people in California that went out in October.
Bananas.
And those sales data that led businesses to continue to hire.
Gavin Newsom. Bananas. Okay, this is bananas. This is a great video. It's very logical. What we're talking about is illogical. Okay, you're gonna give out stimulus checks in a place like California to people making up to $500,000 in October of 2022, when right now the Fed is trying to quell inflation? Are you bananas? This is so frustrating to hear, and it's among many things that I hear in crazy California land. I just can't tell you how badly people want to get out of California. You can tell me if you're watching this from California. Please tell me how you feel about what's happening there and the representation that's there. I know it's a beautiful place. I know there's awesome real estate. I really love what you see and find in California, and even some of the people, great people, they're all moving here. But what's going on there is nuts, and this is nuts too. In the biggest state in the union, they're ramping up what is trying to be brought down. So all they're doing is delaying this problem further by doing it in their state. That's how I feel about that. It enrages me to see that. Meet Kevin also has a great video on his reaction to the CPI report and what the Fed meeting. I definitely suggest you check that out. Again, don't agree with everything he says, but I really like where he's coming from. And this was a bit of a surprise video that he dropped today when I recorded this. It'll be a few days after by the time I drop my video. But nonetheless, definitely somebody I think you should be getting information from. And don't mind his advertisements in between things. That's the only thing you have to put up with because he's trying to sell you something. I'm only trying to sell myself to you folks. That's all. I just want to be your coach for when it's time for you to buy or sell real estate in Las Vegas, Nevada. Is that too much to ask? That's pretty simple. All right, let's get on to the next video. From Clear Value Tax. I found this guy randomly talking about the housing market, and I find him to be very logical. Not only that, he called a lot of stuff when it came to crypto and other investments, and I think the guy has a very just solid, straight line view of things. If you want somebody who's just very simple and gonna give it to you simple, toots his horn a little bit, but I think it's reasonable for him to toot his horn because he's called some very key things, and he's probably, if people have listened to him, he's done very well for them. They've done well for themselves if they've listened to him. The tough part is, where do you pull the trigger on listening to people these days? There's all kinds of people out there talking. There's all kinds of people. I'm one of them, okay? Listen, I just want to coach you. I don't want to tell you to do anything. I just want to help you. I want to be a piece to your puzzle. So here we go. Federal Reserve raises interest rates by 0.5%. His reaction to that, I think it's great. We're going to watch a little bit of it, and then I'll do some more jibber jabber.
The Federal Reserve has decided today to raise interest rates by 0.5%. Their press conference, so I just got done watching it. It was hawkish. It wasn't scorched earth, end of the world hawkish, but it wasn't good either.
Is that a hawk?
The stock market didn't react too well. In today's video, I want to tell you about what they said, the Q&A session, and also my thoughts. So Jerome Powell is the chair of the Federal Reserve, and he started off the press conference with his prepared remarks. The bottom line is that the Federal Reserve is committed to slowing down the economy and higher unemployment. They're accomplishing that by raising interest rates. The goal is to slow down the economy so that inflation comes down. So it's working. Damage the economy, mission accomplished. Ding. Slow down inflation, mission accomplished. Ding. However, they are not done yet because inflation needs to come down further. More work needs to be done and more damage needs to be delivered.
Damage?
So that was the theme. You can watch it for yourself.
Controlled demolition, folks. This is a great summary of what happened there, and he's got some great thoughts here. Let's see what else he has to say.
Powell is emphasizing that the economy will weaken further in 2023. Powell said that the full effects of tightening monetary policy are yet to be felt. The Federal Reserve is expecting a sharp pullback in growth and that unemployment will rise to 4.6% at the end of next year. We're currently at 3.7%.
That doesn't sound too crazy, but that's where they want to keep it at. They just want to knock it up about a tick, about a little over 1 percentage point. Doesn't sound too crazy. Sounds like something survivable, but it means pain. And how much pain? That's the question.
At these press conferences, Jerome Powell keeps saying how these tighter financial conditions will cause pain to everyday Americans. So a reporter asked Powell, okay, where are we on that pain level? So you know how doctors or nurses, if you tell them that you're in pain, the doctor or nurse will ask you,
a great analogy. I really want you to pay attention.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your pain level? The reporter basically asked to Powell, where are we on that pain scale?
Pain.
So Powell didn't know how to answer the question. So he replied with, the ultimate pain would be failing to eliminate inflation.
Oh.
Okay, to me, and this is just my opinion, that was a terrible answer.
Terrible one.
Next time a nurse or your doctor asks you, I hear your finger hurts. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is your pain? Try answering with, the ultimate pain would be losing my finger. Your doctor would be like, okay, that doesn't answer my question, but that's how Jerome Powell answered the question. We all just kind of just brushed it off. We just let it slide.
Folks, he's got great point of view on this, and I just wanted to point that out. So I had a lot to say today, and it's a lot about where I think things are going in 2023, the posture that I think I want to take going ahead, which is just to be real deal, a little ticked off at times, but also straightforward. And I'm going to try to keep things humorous as much as possible, because nothing is worse than a Debbie Downer, constantly just downing everything. That's not what I'm looking to do. There is always a bright side. There is always sun to be found. And that's what we're going to look for together. I hope you subscribe to my channel here. I hope you follow along with me, because I think this year, of all years, is going to be a very surprising year and have lots to talk about, lots to go over. We're all going to need a little help. We're all going to need a little help from somebody, and finding that right help is important. I'm here for what I can offer. And so I hope you have happy holidays, Merry Christmas. If you like Christmas, I like Christmas. I like giving gifts, and I like the idea of getting together with family and what it represents. Enjoy your holidays. I will see you on the other side of our Christmas vacation, if you will. I'm going to keep going, dropping videos every Monday. Make sure to follow me on my social media as well. I do some other stuff on Instagram. And if you find me on Facebook, that's cool too. So just remember, when you think of how, H-A-U, that means houses and you. That's all I think about. That's what I want to help you with. And so when you're ready, now you know how. Everybody have a great day. See you on the next one.